So in this tutorial, we'll discuss how to load the data into the visualizer so that we can start looking through the compounds and start manually annotating or validating our chemicals. So 2 tutorials ago, we went through how to run the software. And so you can see that it's complete once you have the 3 loading bars green and you get this software complete congratulations sign. If this does not occur, that means that there was some error at some point in the R script that terminated the process. But in this case, it does look like it did go to completion, which is good. Otherwise, there is a video on troubleshooting and also how to send all the materials over if you do need support. So this is done running, and we can look at the output. So if we look at our files, we should have 5 files that are needed for the visualizer. So you can only work in one polarity at a time, although in the future versions, which you may be using at this point, there'll be a combined version of all these files as well that you can upload. And it will be the exact same process. So there's going to be combined EICs, combined MS1s, combined P formula, and you'd upload those as well. And by combined, I mean combined polarity. So it's going to have your positive and negative mode data that you can look through simultaneously and even overlay. So for now, let's look at which 5 are needed. So you need these 5. You need an EIC, MS1s, P formula, raw MSMS, and neg ID fin. Not only that, but you will want in your floor match distribution, you'll see these example templates. So you do want to have these as well, especially the Kaufman plots. So in order to open the visualizer, go to the software, go to visualizer, and most of the time, probably people are not going to be using the statistics. Again, this is a beta option, so take this non-statistic version. Of course, with your version of the software, there might be new versions as well. Take the latest version of the visualizer, open it up, and just like running the software, needing to have good RAM, also you can look into PowerBI requirements, but I imagine having good RAM, lots of memory, and having a good graphics card could help speed up this process as well. I've seen on some computers, especially laptops, that the Power BI can be extremely slow if you don't have a decent processor, etc. So here's the visualizer. It opens up already with some data in it, but you want to upload your own data. So we go to this transform data. Underneath there's this little arrow. Go to data source settings. And once you select data source settings, you'll see the files to replace, and you just replace one by one. So we'll start with the ones that come with the software. In this case, it's only the Kaufman EPA Comtox data. So this is EPA Comtox data mapped into Kaufman space so that we can see where our data lies in relationship to theoretical PFAS in Kaufman space. So we'll go to change source, browse, and then you're going to navigate to your software release, the template files, and the Kaufman, and then press OK. Now you're going to also want to upload all of the results from your software. So again, you could go negative and positive separately, or you can do them together in the next release. So we'll have to navigate to our data where the outputs were, and again, they're in test. So that was just the folder we decided to choose. And then within that folder, you go to annotated output, and then you could find them there. Now note, when you do this, you have to know exactly which file you're replacing and replace it with that file. So I have already forgotten, so I'm forgot, so I pressed cancel. It was the EICs. So I'm going to select change source again and make sure that I select the EICs in this case. So again, let's go to software, 5.7. Oh, sorry, not software, data. All right, and so we want the EICs. You can do positive mode or negative mode. So you can replace, even if it says neg feature EICs, you can replace it with the positive mode data. In many cases, I imagine most people are just running negative mode for PFAS. But this is the same process for lipidomics and polymers as well. So we'll press open on the EICs, press OK. And then we'll go for MS1s. Note that even for lipidomics, you will also need the Kaufman because we use, again, just the same infrastructure as our PFAS software. So just change one by one until you've changed every file. And you'll get used to this after you do it a few times very quickly. All right, so now if you scrolled over any of them, they should have the directory from your computer, not mine. If any of them have the directory from when this software was uploaded, it won't work. So then you press close and you'll see this apply changes. So now we're going to want to apply our changes. And this can take a little while to load up these files. Also, you can get this error, and this is quite common with Kaufman appended. There's also one other error that sometimes pops up. Often the most simple thing to troubleshoot this error is you just click close and you click apply again. This error has something to do with the order in which data is read, and sometimes it hasn't uploaded a certain file. It needs to upload the next one, but then once you click apply again, it's already uploaded. So now you'll start to see the data start to load in. And again, you know, depending on your computer, this can take a lot longer. I have a very high performance computer we're demonstrating on. And then you can see all of your data here. One more important note, and in the next tutorials, we will go through how to look through each one of these plots and start annotating compounds. And then we do have the other videos tutorial series that goes in depth into what is a Kaufman plot, what is a mass spectrum, isotopic pattern, mass defect, all of those. What are they and how can they be used to identify compounds? And so please do look through those videos as well to help you look for these visualizer results. But I did just want to note that there are filters that can be on. So ideally when we release it and distribute it, there's not major filters, right? So you're not going to go over 1,000 minutes likely. The mass defect set to the whole thing. Same thing for the Kaufman cutoff. There's only one filter that starts when you open it, and that is to show the more confident hits. So A's, B pluses, C pluses, and A minuses, as you remember from the previous tutorial. These are based on our library hits, so the ones there where we have curated fragmentation rules for PFAS or lipids, or polymers, or whatever application you are doing. So just make sure to turn these off if you want to look at everything, in case you're missing many peaks, and then throughout whenever you're navigating this to make sure to turn back off filters once you're done. Otherwise, when you open up, you might not see anything and you might wonder why. So that's it for this tutorial. And for the next tutorial, we'll talk about how you can annotate compounds and then re-upload those annotations into your visualizer so you can see which ones you've confidently assigned and which ones you haven't. So with that, I'd like to thank you and see you for the next video tutorial.